Petula Clark is a name that has resonated across generations, a singer, actress, and performer whose career spans over 8 decades. From her early beginnings in wartime Britain, entertaining troops and recording for the BBC, to becoming an international sensation with hits like Downtown, her journey reflects talent, determination, and resilience. Beyond her music, Petula's life intertwines remarkable personal experiences, family bonds, and encounters with iconic figures in entertainment history. This story explores not only her rise to fame and global influence, but also her enduring spirit, health, and the legacy she continues to build, showing the human story behind the legend. A golden voice emerges. The producer's voice echoed through the studio. Would somebody like to come up and say a piece of poetry or sing a song just to calm things down? When no one volunteered, Petula Clark stepped forward. She was already known as the girl with the golden voice, lighting up radio and television screens long before streaming was even imagined. Behind the music, however, lay a life shaped by resilience, family love, and determination. At 92, many wonder how she spends her days, whether she still performs, and how her health has held up after decades in the spotlight. To understand her journey, we must first go back to her beginnings. Early years, Petula Clark was born Sally Clark on November 15, 1932, in Surrey, England, to Doris and Leslie, both nurses at Longgrove Hospital in Epsom. Her mother's family was Welsh, and her father English. Petula's unusual first name was the result of a playful combination of 2 of her father's old girlfriends, Pet and Ula, a light-hearted choice that would become iconic in the music world. Growing up in Aberconade, a village near Merthyr Tydfil in Wales, she experienced both the warmth of family and the harsh realities of wartime Britain. Her grandfather had worked as a coal miner, and young Petula first performed in 1939 at the Collier's Arms, where she sang for the local community. During the Blitz, Petula lived near London, witnessing the chaos of air raids and seeking shelter with her sister. Even at the age of 8, she had her first connection with the BBC, recording messages for soldiers overseas. When the children grew frightened during an air raid, she bravely stepped forward to sing "Mighty Like a Rose," calming the room and impressing the producers, marking the start of her lifelong journey in entertainment. She also loved to sing in the chapel choir and had a remarkable gift for mimicry, delighting family and friends by impersonating stars like Vera Lynn, Carmen Miranda, and Sophie Tucker. Early breakthroughs. Petula's father encouraged her talent and exposed her to stage productions, such as Flora Robson's Mary Stuart in 1944, where Petula decided she wanted to become an actress, inspired by stars like Ingrid Bergman. However, her earliest performances were in singing rather than acting. In 1945, she performed with an orchestra at Bentel's department store in Kingston upon Thames, receiving a tin of toffee and a gold wristwatch, a modest reward that foreshadowed a career destined for greatness. By the age of 9, her BBC radio appearances became regular, with audiences captivated by her performances aimed at uplifting British troops. Her reputation grew rapidly, earning her the nickname the Singing Sweetheart, and she even toured with child star Julie Andrews, performing for soldiers and dignitaries alike, including King George VI, Winston Churchill, and Bernard Montgomery. Child star to young performer Petula's early fame extended to film. In 1944, director Maurice Elvey cast her in Medal for the General, followed by roles in Strawberry Roan, I Know Where I'm Going, London Town, and Here Come the Huggets. She shared the screen with notable actors including Anthony Newley and Alec Guinness. By 1945, She appeared in the comic magazine Radio Fun, celebrated as radio's merry mimic. Despite this early success, Petula felt confined by child roles and sought to transition to more serious work, which led her toward television. In 1946, she appeared on the BBC variety show Cabaret Cartoons, performing so well that she was offered her own series, Pet's Parlor, by 1950. Finding her voice in music. During this period, Petula met Joe Mr. Piano Henderson, a musical collaborator and romantic partner for a decade. In 1949, Henderson introduced her to record producer Alan A. Freeman, who, alongside Petula's father, formed Polygon Records. This gave Petula her first opportunity to record songs, including Put Your Shoes on Lucy and duets with singer Benny Lee. Throughout the 1950s, she gained popularity in the UK with hits such as The Little Shoemaker, 1954, Mallorca, 1955, Suddenly There's a Valley, 1955, and With All My Heart, 1956. Her songs found international success, with The Little Shoemaker reaching #1 in Australia, marking the start of her global recognition. European success and romance. Polygon Records was later sold to Pi Records in 1955, giving Petula access to a larger platform. She also supported emerging artists, helping Joe Henderson record his own hits. In 1957, she began performing at the Paris Olympia, expanding her audience across Europe, recording in French, German, Italian, and Spanish, and forging lifelong friendships with fellow performers like Sacha Distel. Her UK hits continued, including Sailor, 1961, Romeo, and My Friend the Sea. Petula's versatility and multilingual abilities enabled her to capture audiences worldwide. During this period, she also met Claude Wolfe, a producer who became her husband and key collaborator, shaping both her personal and professional life. The Downtown Breakthrough. By 1964, Petula's career in Britain had plateaued, but her collaboration with composer Tony Hatch changed everything. Hatch played her a tune inspired by New York, which became Downtown. The song quickly rose to global prominence, topping charts in the UK, France, the Netherlands, Germany, Australia, Italy, Japan, and the United States. In January 1965, Downtown reached #1 in America, selling over 3 million copies and earning her first Grammy. The song transformed her identity, positioning Petula not just as a UK singer, but as an international superstar. U.S. fame and television appearances. Following Downtown, Petula continued a string of hits, including I Know a Place, My Love, A Sign of the Times, I Couldn't Live Without Your Love, Don't Sleep in the Subway, and This Is My Song. She appeared on popular American variety shows hosted by Ed Sullivan, Dean Martin, and others, and starred in musical specials. Petula also faced controversies, notably when performing alongside Harry Belafonte in 1968. Their onstage touch during a performance of her anti-war song On the Path of Glory angered a sponsor who feared backlash in the South. But Petula and Wolfe insisted on keeping the moment intact, demonstrating her courage and integrity. Stage and film success. In the late 1960s, Petula expanded into film and stage. She starred in Finian's Rainbow alongside Fred Astaire, 1968, earning a Golden Globe nomination, and appeared in Goodbye, Mr. Chips, 1969, with Peter O'Toole. She continued touring across the United States, performing in renowned supper clubs such as the Copacabana in New York and the Coconut Grove in Los Angeles. Petula also became known for supporting young talent, helping composers and musicians develop their careers while maintaining her own success. Global influence and multilingual recordings. Petula's commitment to international audiences solidified her status as a true global star. By recording songs in multiple languages, she reached diverse audiences, performing hits like Ya Ya Twist in France, which became a sensation. She also collaborated with iconic composers, including Serge Gainsbourg, and was gifted songs by Jacques Brel, whose Un Enfant she recorded and performed during her tours. These collaborations showcased not only her vocal talent, but her dedication to artistic growth and cross-cultural influence. Awards and recognition throughout her career, Petula was recognized repeatedly. She was honored 3 times on the popular show This Is Your Life, 1964, 1975, 1996, a rare achievement for any performer. Her song Downtown was later inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame, reflecting her enduring impact on the music industry. Petula's career spanned decades, blending recordings, live performances, television, and stage work, and she became a symbol of resilience, creativity, and artistry. Breaking barriers and taking stands. Petula's influence extended beyond music. She demonstrated moral courage, refusing to alter performances despite potential backlash. Her decision to maintain the on-stage moment with Harry Belafonte in 1968, during a period of racial tension, showed her commitment to social justice and her unwillingness to compromise her integrity for public approval. Throughout her life, she combined artistry with advocacy, inspiring both audiences and fellow performers. Reflection and impact. From the streets of Surrey and the air raid shelters of London to the stages of Paris, New York, and beyond, Petula's journey illustrates the power of talent, perseverance, and character. She transformed early recognition into lifelong achievement, navigating fame with grace, integrity, and courage. Even today, audiences remember her for the timeless quality of her voice, her dedication to her craft, and her unwavering commitment to principles. Petula Clark's life story is not just one of success, but of resilience, artistry, and the enduring influence of a true pioneer in music and performance. Bridging talent and friendship. Petula Clark's influence extended far beyond her own performances. She introduced French composer Michel Colombier to the American music scene, connecting him with Herb Alpert, which helped Colombier later work with artists like Prince and Richard Carpenter. In turn, Clark helped launch the Carpenters' career by introducing them to Alpert. Her friendships spanned generations of stars, including Elvis Presley, who famously flirted with both her and Karen Carpenter backstage. Petula would later laugh about it, recalling how Elvis didn't have us exactly, but had a darned good try. She was present at historic cultural moments, including the 1969 Montreal concerts, where she sought advice from John Lennon to handle hecklers, and joined him and Yoko Ono for their famous Bed-In protest, contributing her voice to the anthem Give Peace a Chance. That same year, her concert and evening with Petula became the first color broadcast on BBC One, cementing yet another milestone in her groundbreaking career. Life beyond music. Petula Clark's life reflected her curiosity and engagement with the world. Politically, she maintained an independent perspective, congratulating Margaret Thatcher in 1979 while performing at a Young Conservatives rally, yet later supporting Labour Prime Minister Tony Blair in 2002. Her true sense of belonging, however, was in her family and home life. Since the 1960s, she made Geneva, Switzerland, her primary residence, enjoying its peaceful surroundings while maintaining a chalet in the French Alps for skiing and a home in London's Chelsea. These spaces allowed her to balance career demands with family life, offering stability amid global touring. Health and resilience. Despite an active lifestyle, Petula experienced serious health challenges. At 21, she underwent an emergency appendectomy that led to complications, including internal adhesions and gangrenous tissue. A subsequent surgery removed part of her intestine. Though the ordeal was harrowing for both her and her parents, Petula recovered fully, bearing only a small, faded scar. She described her later life as remarkably healthy, remaining active into her late 80s. Running upstairs in her chalet and maintaining a vigorous routine, she relied minimally on medication and even tried only one diet, the Atkins, to lose post-pregnancy weight. Her story reflects not only talent, but determination to preserve physical and mental resilience throughout a demanding life. The song that changed everything. The release of Downtown in January 1965 marked a defining moment in Petula's career. The song's lyrics, celebrating the vibrancy and escapism of city life, resonated worldwide, earning her a Grammy Award for Best Rock and Roll Recording and appearances in television shows and films. The song's journey began in Paris, where Petula and her husband Claude were living. Though she was already successful in Europe, Tony Hatch of Pi Records suggested she record in English. Initially hesitant, Petula recognized the potential of Hatch's melody and agreed to collaborate on lyrics. Within 2 weeks, they recorded Downtown in London. From Europe to America, neither Petula nor Hatch anticipated the song's global impact. Downtown quickly topped charts in the US, Canada, Australia, and beyond. Its success coincided with the British invasion, and Petula became a sought-after performer on American television. Her first performance in New York was impromptu, arriving jet-lagged from Paris with no rehearsal. Yet the audience's warm reception underscored her universal appeal. Petula later reflected on the pressures of balancing European contracts, American tours, and her responsibilities as a mother, noting that while it complicated her life, it enriched her children's experiences and provided them with a broader perspective on the world. Cultural significance and personal impact. Downtown became more than a hit record. It became a touchstone in people's lives. Fans shared stories of how the song lifted their spirits during difficult times, including soldiers in Vietnam. The song's simplicity, celebrating everyday joy and escape, allowed listeners to connect deeply with it. Petula recognized that the impact of her music often surpassed what she had imagined, touching lives in ways that were intimate, personal, and enduring. The song's legacy continues to demonstrate her ability to blend artistry with empathy, creating works that resonate across generations. Legacy and lifelong contribution. Beyond Downtown, Petula's career is defined by reinvention, resilience, and a dedication to craft. Her collaborations, mentorship of younger musicians, and persistent touring reflect a commitment to artistry over decades. Petula's stage and television work, international recordings, and advocacy through music and public appearances show an artist willing to engage with the world, address social issues, and take creative risks. She continues to inspire audiences, not only with her golden voice, but with the integrity and energy that have characterized her life. From her early days singing to soothe wartime fears to her global superstardom, Petula Clark embodies dedication, talent, and enduring cultural impact. Legacy and later years. By the 1970s, Petula had firmly established herself as an international icon. Her chart-topping hits, multilingual recordings, television appearances, and stage performances created a lasting legacy. Even decades later, she continued performing, recording, and supporting new talent. Her resilience, shaped by a challenging childhood, early fame, and the pressures of a global career, defined her both personally and professionally. Petula Clark became not only a symbol of musical excellence, but also a figure of inspiration for future generations. Conclusion: Petula Clark's life is a testament to talent, resilience, and reinvention. From singing to calm children during wartime to becoming an international superstar with hits like Downtown, she has navigated fame, personal challenges, and health crises with grace. Her influence spans music, film, stage, and mentorship, while her personal journey reflects love, loss, and enduring family bonds. Even in her later years, Petula continues to perform, inspire, and connect with audiences worldwide. Her story reminds us that true artistry combines passion, perseverance, and heart, leaving a legacy that transcends generations and continues to resonate deeply.